Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Segal SE15316 single cylinder surface mounted deadbolt. Segal's a name that I know to be synonymous with this type of deadbolt. There's several different pieces included with this, and I'll show them all to you. Lock body, of course. Part of this model number, the 15316, includes this angle strike. There's other strikes available, but this is the angle style. It's all solid bronze construction. So your strike, then your cylinder, your rim cylinder for the outside. And this is called a single cylinder because there's a key on only one side of the door. You've got your key on the outside here, and no key on the inside, just a thumb turn that'd make it single cylinder. The cylinder is provided with two keys. I like a solid bronze construction sort of cylinder better than, or brass, better, solid bronze and brass better than other lower quality construction cylinders. You'll get a trim ring with that cylinder as well, a cylinder collar they call it. It'll look like that on the outside. Then you're going to get the internal parts, a cup or a ring to hold the mortise cylinder on the inside. You'll get the 4 bronze colored screws that will attach the body to the door. Oops. You will get the 6 flathead screws that will attach the angle strike to the frame. You'll need 6 screws for that. You're also going to get this marking plate. Installing this lock it's very simple. The way that they make this with the included instructions is basically a template, and once you apply the template to the door, you simply really don't need to do any measuring, so that makes things nice. There's a list of materials. These instructions from Segal are quite excellent. They're thorough. They're very good. Immediately they list what you need to do the installation, which is nice. But yes, you will need all of these items: the center punch, the hammer, the 1 3/8" hole saw, which you're going to use to drill a hole through the door for the installation of the cylinder. An electric drill, obviously, an 1/8" drill bit, a slotted head screwdriver, that might be out of date. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver. Pliers, hacksaw would be nice, straight edge and level, and masking tape. So one of the things you need to do, it doesn't have to be first, but you have to cut the tailpiece off to length. You can see that there are notches here, and this tailpiece is too long for an 1 3/4" door. 1 3/8" door, it's obviously too long as well. So you could install this onto a door that's up to 2.5 inches thick. Right out of the box, this lock will work on a door from very thin to very thick. So you're going to need to modify that, and on the instruction sheet here, it gives a legend of where you're supposed to break that off at. Don't just grab that with the pliers. Don't grab it here with the pliers and expect it's going to break. You're going to want to grab it from either end. Like use a needle nose on the inside, the interior portion of where you want to snap it, and then pliers on the outside, and hold that rigid while you break it. You don't want to deform that tailpiece, or worse, damage the inside of the cylinder, or bend the whole thing. So that'll have to be cut to length. Additionally, the screws that hold the cylinder on, you can see on the back here, those are also notched, so to speak, for different door thicknesses. So you'll have to cut the screws down as well. Then it'll be fairly obvious what you have to cut them down to. But in the instructions, next to the same area where they show the tailpiece, where you're going to break off the screws as well. And you would break that off. It depends on your door thickness, but you're going to break it off at either the first notch or the second notch. 1 3/4 is most common. It'd be the first notch, basically. Then the instructions give step-by-step hand-holding, really, which is quite excellent if you've never done this before, in terms of how to install this lock. The bottom of page 1 shows steps 1 through 4. And it refers immediately to the template that's on the opposite side. So basically what you do for steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, you apply the template to the face of the door, per the line, fold on this edge, and fold on this line and align to door edge. Once you get this on the door, you're going to mark your holes. These 4 points, you're going to mark these 4 points, because those 4 points are going to be where the screws need to be located for the body. Then you're going to also mark where the 1 3/8 diameter hole gets drilled through the door. You'll go through the door with that. Drill it straight. Drill the hole straight. If you're using a butterfly bit, those are tough to drill straight holes. A hole saw probably will not allow you to drill all the way through an 1 3/4 door, because the inside of that hole saw can only take so much. Drill a straight hole if you can, because that cylinder and the tailpiece need to be straight in order. You can't have this tailpiece going through the door not straight, or it won't work correctly. It won't work correctly. After you get these holes marked and this 1 3/8 hole drilled, okay, you mark the holes with a center punch. And then you drill with like an 1/8 inch drill bit, drill a pilot hole like 3/4 of an inch deep. Step 5 is where they mention to break the tailpiece off in accordance with your door thickness. Step 6 is installation of the cylinder. And that backing plate we mentioned is in step 7, where you're going to attach that to the door. And basically this will go on the inside of the door. Your tailpiece, your rim cylinder comes through it, and then these screws mount through these 2 holes. 2 screws will go here. These 2 screws will go through and attach to the back of the cylinder. I've got 1 screw still in the cylinder, of course. That's what holds the cylinder on through the door. Obviously, you're going to have this collar put on first, as it's shown in step 6. Once you have the exterior cylinder on, you're going to install the lock body, as shown in figure 8. So you've got the lock body, you've got the 4 long screws for attaching it. Now your lock body's on, your inside cylinder, your exterior cylinder is on. To insert the tailpiece from the cylinder into the back of the housing, you're going to need to depress this to get it through there. And Segal is saying that you'll start that process with the lock unlocked. And after you get everything installed and attached, check it all. Double check everything. Make sure it works right with the key on the outside, that you can leave the lock locked and unlocked and be able to remove the key in both instances. And while it's locked and unlocked, be able to rotate, the inside to leave it locked. Once you get the body installed, really the last thing to do is to attach your strike. Now, this would be mortised generally in installations. You would mortise this. So it'd be a bit of hand chiseling to do there. And the entire assembly is shown. Forgive me. The entire assembly is shown here. They also show that you could use this ring to hold the cylinder on, and that's perfectly acceptable. You can do that as well. That would work just as easily. Step 9, 10, 11, and 12 show attaching the body to the door, show attaching the strike. And then really at that point, your you're finished. You should have a successful installation at that point. If you have any questions on the Segal lock, the 15316, or any other Segal item, please feel free to reach out to us.